with something that Diddy and his lawyers knew was coming down the pike eventually, and now it has happened. A new indictment, it's called a superseding indictment. It really replaces the original one that the federal prosecutors have filed against him. And the big headline here is that now they are saying there are...
This wasn't a typical lawsuit or minor accusation. It was far graver. For the first time, the man who built his empire on power and confidence appeared truly shaken, even afraid.
Diddy Combs reportedly underwent treatment in a hospital as he continues to await trial on sex trafficking charges. According to Page 6, the 55-year-old was transported from Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, the federal prison where he was sent following his September arrest, late January 30th to undergo an MRI, and was then soon returned to police custody later that
night. But first, rewind to understand why this moment was so devastating. The chaotic web leading to it reveals Sean Diddy Combs, once hip-hop's undisputed king, now fighting to protect his legacy, freedom, and empire. Amid multiple lawsuits and looming federal charges, the man who seemed invincible faces a reckoning that threatens to unravel everything.
And let's talk about the fact that Combs' co-defendant in a civil case, a case, by the way, that accuses him and this co-defendant, another A-lister, of rape. This guy is once again slamming the attorney behind the case, insisting that he be sanctioned for allegedly not doing his job. We're talking, of course, about Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, once again calling out attorney Tony Busby, calling out his character, more specifically into question, claiming that the Texas attorney's filings have, quote, substantial inaccuracies, and that there was a failure to properly investigate before filing. Now, we've talked about this before, but basically, a civil lawsuit was filed against Sean Combs on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and another celebrity at a home after the Video Music Awards in 2000. She says she was just 13 years old when this happened. And weeks after the initial filing, Busby submitted an amended complaint naming Jay-Z as the celebrity who allegedly participated in this assault.
A lifestyle so dark and predatory that even allies flee. And at its center stands Justin Bieber, entangled in the chaos. The fallout threatens to engulf them all.
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
I feel violated right now. Wow.
Just lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad. Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful place.
Diddy's unusual influence over Justin Bieber sparked scrutiny after his September arrest. Fans questioned why Bieber, as a teen, was constantly around Diddy, who once described their time together as a cryptic rite of passage. A resurfaced 2009 clip went viral, showing Diddy grinning as he boasted about spending 48 hours with the 15-year-old pop star. "What we're doing we can't really disclose," Diddy teased while Bieber sat beside him laughing along. The footage painted an unsettling picture, fueling theories about their relationship's true nature. Behind the glitz, whispers grew louder. What really happened during those lost hours? The answers, if they surface, could shatter more than just legacies.
Turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
At the time, it seemed like an odd moment between a mogul and his protege. But after Diddy's allegations emerged, the clip became chilling, revealing just how young and vulnerable Justin Bieber truly was, trapped in a dynamic the world couldn't yet understand.
Who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun. Now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that essentially, if we were to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood. And as we are going through these lawsuits and Diddy is in prison, we are recognizing that everybody knew. This was an open secret about what Diddy was doing. So it just begs the question, who allowed Justin Bieber to be in the presence of this man, knowing what he was up to? Allegedly up to. That seems to be very clear, that there is some.
The prosecution stunned the court with the explosive video evidence. Over Diddy's legal objections, the judge permitted it, unveiling damning footage that could decisively shift the case. The room held its breath as the screen lit up.
Now, the defense wanted copies of these videos handed over to them, not just the ability to view them at, like, the prosecution's office. They wanted copies of these videos for themselves. And I've talked to lawyers about this before. There's a big advantage to having the electronic video, the electronic evidence yourself, right? You don't have to always go over to the other office. You can view the materials on your own. It's a way to better prepare for your defense. And Sean Combs' lawyers argue that under the federal rules of criminal procedure, if the defendant asks for it, the government has to give a defendant the opportunity to inspect and to copy electronic data that is in the government's possession. Judge Subramanian denied the defense's motion to amend the protective order, but without prejudice, meaning this issue could be revisited. So Subramanian's order reads, quote, while the government objects to handing the videos over, they provide several options for a defendant to consider that would permit the defense to view the videos, access the information they're looking for, and even allow them to manipulate the videos as they see fit.
As Diddy's legal woes mount, scrutiny over Bieber's early mentors has intensified. The pop star's recent actions, quiet but deliberate, hint at a strategic retreat, carving a new path far from past shadows.
Bieber's got more on his mind than Diddy's arrest. A source telling ET the new dad's energy is going towards wife Haley and son Jack. And he's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
The insider info coming after footage of Diddy and Justin resurfaced on social media. Videos showed the disgraced media mogul alongside teenage Justin, with online sleuths speculating if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged.
A subtle but telling shift. Usher, who first introduced Bieber to Diddy, vanished from his circle. Then, Bieber split with Scooter Braun, his longtime manager and industry shield. The moves fueled speculation. Was he purging ties to his past? Resurfaced interviews added context, with Bieber reflecting on Hollywood's dark side, exploitation, broken trust, and the figures who let him down. Each step seemed calculated, a quiet rebellion against the machine that built him.
Justin was signed when he was just 13 years old, and I should mention he was signed by Usher to a label that was owned jointly by both Scooter Braun and Usher, and he was considered Usher's protege. He has been described Usher as his mentor. The Bieber, Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is.
On Saturday, January 4th, fans noticed that Justin and controversial manager Scooter Braun stopped following each other. It was then confirmed that Justin blocked Scooter because Justin's name was removed from any tagged photos, and Scooter's likes on Justin's photos were gone along with the tags. Mind you, Scooter had just liked Justin's photo a week before this. Justin wasn't the only one who blocked Scooter. Haley wanted in on the fun too, and fans noticed she...
The trauma still haunts him. In one viral moment, an emotional Bieber pleaded to protect young stars like Billie Eilish from the industry's dark side, a cry that resonated as Diddy's legal nightmare unfolded. The case began with a bombshell. John Doe, an aspiring musician, accused Diddy of drugging and assaulting him at a 2015 after-party. But prosecutors soon exposed a far wider web, years of alleged abuse, trafficking, and coercion, backed by a ruthless network silencing victims. Diddy's infamous freak-offs, once whispered about in elite circles, were now central to the indictment, painting a chilling portrait of power exploited. With each revelation, the empire he built trembled as the world wondered how many more voices would break the silence.
Did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Did you feel protected of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they loved me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So, yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I don't want to. I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. Protect Billie Eilish from what? From who? What is he so concerned about when he sees this young person?
Diddy's private parties, billed as elite networking, were allegedly fronts for manipulation, with women, men, and celebrities exploited amid the excess. Justin Bieber, often present during this era, now faces urgent questions. Was he a witness or a victim? Prosecutors hold video evidence so explosive, insiders warn it could redefine the entire case. As Hollywood's glittering facade cracks, the truth lurking beneath threatens to expose far more than just one man's crimes. It could unravel an entire system built on silence.
Mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been slammed with another lawsuit. An unnamed person has accused the music mogul of drugging and assaulting him. As per a lawsuit which was filed in New York, the incident allegedly took place in 2015. Prosecutors and the lawyer representing the alleged victims in the case have been behind a substantial number of suits brought against Combs over the past year, including one that named Jay-Z as an additional defendant. The new lawsuit says that in 2015, the unnamed male person had approached Combs with the aspirations of becoming a rapper and singer. The 23-year-old was scheduled to open for a popular music artist at a series of Los Angeles nightclubs. Prior to his performance, he was informed that Combs would be in attendance, and should the performance go well, Combs would consider signing him to Bad Boy Records. The lawsuit further stated that later that night he attended an after-party where there were other well-known entertainers who were taking in drugs. Now, one of Combs' associates handed him a drink which he later realized was drugged. The unnamed person has further claimed that during his unconscious state, Diddy Combs had engaged in unconsented sexual activities. Meanwhile, in a statement provided to media, Combs' attorneys say, and I'm quoting here, "As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are officially..."
The case could expose Diddy's dark influence over Bieber and others, revealing the abuse behind Hollywood's glamour. As allegations explode into scandal, the music world watches. This could dismantle an empire. For Bieber, it's a defining crossroads: victim, witness, or survivor. The truth, now unstoppable, marches toward reckoning.
In 2000, when her and a friend drove to Radio City Music Hall in New York City, where the Video Music Awards, the VMAs, were being held, she says she didn't have a ticket. So what does she do? She mills about outside, and that's when she says that one of Sean Combs' limo drivers told her to come back later and he would take her to an after party. She claims that she was given a drink at this after party, which she now believes was drugged. She claims she started feeling woozy, went to find somewhere to lay down, and that is when she says she was raped.
Details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
The new interview, part of Investigation Discovery's docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
My job is to shield his private life from the public.
Pines even sharing audio he says is of Diddy telling Pines to bring him various substances during those Wild King nights.
Phil, I need some Cialis. Give me 20 Xanax, please. Hey, Phil, I need a plan B.
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders.
This trial could be Bieber's chance to escape his past, to expose the darkness he survived. With long-buried secrets set to unravel, the case hinges on power, betrayal, and Hollywood's cutthroat underbelly. The world awaits. Will truth finally shatter the empire that built him?
I have kids. I don't even post. And then, the Twitter trolls will be, we're her kids. Well, I'm protecting them. And this is sad. I mean, this is sad. And this one with Bieber.
This is the Bieber one?
Where are the parents?
Yeah, and which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself. And at what time, at what era is this cool?
In the most critical years, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. How is this, Alina?
They both turn.
How is this normal?
They both turn into superstars.
Yeah,
that's the sacrifice you make.
Yeah, that's the sacrifice. But one of them
have detailed new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, and among these new charges, prosecutors say Combs led a criminal organization that they call the Combs Enterprise. Members are accused of trafficking and traveling across state lines to engage in prostitution, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. Combs is being held at a federal jail in Brooklyn as of late, and he's already pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation.
Welcome back. We're here at Hillsong Conference 2017, having the best time. And how you guys doing? Are you guys enjoying conference call? Shut up, Virgil. Shut up.
It was very good talk.
Very good. So, guys,
you know what? We had the best. We had a couple cool moments with the Young and Free.
I think it's always really good. So,
shout out to Lorenzo.
So, theme. And so, my response is I want to come closer to him. I want to live a life that's closer to God than ever before. Absolutely. Justin. Samesies.
Carl, I want to get close like that wisp.
Justin, I want to get better. That's why I love Carl more. You're doing a good job of that.